wait for the woman.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for these testimonies. Man, ain't God good, man? He's still working in a time when people think he's not. I mean, hey, it's some miracles, man, that's going on.
Signs and wonders.
It's some miracles going on in this land. And we just got to continue to trust our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Amen.
He did not hang on that cross just to
Be hanging out.
Amen.
Amen.
He came that we may have life, and he gave his life that we may have it more abundantly. Amen. Let's stand to our feet just for a second. Give a 10-second praise. Amen. Thanking him for all he has done. Hallelujah. Thank you for Brother Karan, sister. Thank you for Pastor. Thank you for Minister Glow. Thank you for Minister Sister Mixon and all them that testified and was telling about the goodness of what he was doing. As long as we trust and believe in him and we don't let our faith waver, it'll work.
Yes, Lord.
Because the enemy come to cloud our minds. Amen.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
He come to have you think there ain't no hope for you. You useless. You worthless. But the devil be a lie. Amen.
Amen.
Because the greater one is on the inside. Amen.
Yes.
Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. So I just tell him to bring it on. Put on your best running shoes. Amen. Or we finna take you for a run, devil. Amen. You ain't wearing nothing up in him.
Amen.
Amen. Dear Heavenly, I just thank God for the opportunity today to get up in front of the people. I want to give honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who first my life, to Bishop and Senior Pastor Brown. We have great leaders.
Amen.
Let's give a round of applause for our leaders. Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
For just sticking in there with us. I know we sometimes are some hard-headed and stiff-necked people. Amen. We might not want to admit it, but we all got a little junk in the trunk. Amen. We all fall short. I mean, amen. I believe I ain't going through something ain't working. I believe, he just all time sticking his head up. But praise be to God. He's defeated. And Jesus said no famous word, it is finished. It was finished. He didn't have a chance. Amen. And we just thank God for it. Amen. Tonight, let me go ahead and go to the throne. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord Jesus, for allowing us, Lord, to come into the house one more time, Lord, where you dwell, Lord. Lord, we thank you for dwelling in this house, Lord. We thank you for dwelling in our temples and our vessels, Lord, that carry us each and every day, Lord. Lord, we pray for Mother Turner, Deaconess Clean Dean, all of them that's not here, Mother Lottie and Sister Ellen, all of them that may be going through, but we know you can bring them through, Lord.
Yes,
so no matter what the problem may be, Lord, we send out the angels tonight to camp around them, Lord, to keep them protected in your hands, Lord. We give all things unto you, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for our leaders, Lord. We thank you for leading them and guiding us, Lord. Leading and guiding them in the right way, Lord, to let them decrease while you increase them, Lord. We thank you for their long suffering with us, Lord. We just thank God that we want to go where you will take us. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. I'm telling you, man, we got some great leaders, man. I be sitting home sometime at work. I was like, man, they put up with me, man. They good, man. Amen. Amen. I ain't out of control no more, but, amen. We sometimes, like my mom said, you smell yourself. Amen. I'm old school. See, I remember the old school values that was taught to us. A lot of times now I sit back and I can reminisce, and my mom always told me, a hard head make a soft behind, but don't want the words she used, but none of the words I use now. Amen. Amen. She said, you make your bed hard, you gotta lay in it. Amen. That's right. She said, you think you're wrong, you need to get your own. Amen. God for the upbringing. What?
That's true.
Think you grown, get your own. Oh, man, I heard that.
I done said it.
Oh, man, that was prophesied to me for 17, 18. You think you grown, don't you? You need to get your own. So I can praise God. And it didn't come to pass. I do have my own.
Amen.
But it was many years later. But I just thank God, man, for what he's doing. And I thank God when in the communities, if you cut up down the street, the neighbor could get you.
Amen.
Amen. You do something to some people, kids now, and take them home. Now the parents want to jump on you for you correcting the kids. I mean, you're not going to do nothing to hurt them. You're just trying to correct them and show them the right way. So I thank God for the chastisement that I got. Well, I'm going to tell your mama, I straightened up right then. Amen. But a lot of that old school value is gone. The world is telling them now they can do what they want to do. You don't have to listen to your parents. But if you stay in my house, you're going to listen. Like my mama say, I'm going to call the police. She say, what? Get you out of here, because I'm going to kill you. Amen. But praise be to God. It's another day, and I was like David, I was glad when they say, let us come into the house. Tonight's lesson, the top of the night, are you ready for your season? Amen. So turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, are you ready for your season? Amen.
Are you ready for your season?
Hey, are you ready for your season? Amen.
Yes, I am.
Are you ready?
You know, a lot of times, a lot of times in this walk, we've been prophesized and we've been reading the Word of God, and the Word of God been telling us all this stuff, and so we've been patiently waiting. Sometimes we get in front of the wagon, but we shouldn't. But sometimes we do. Sometimes we go ahead of God when we shouldn't. But if we just patiently, because we look at the Bible, in Genesis 1, when he prophesied in Genesis 2 about the son coming, look how many years later before the promise came and the season came. So we're going to start out in our first season with Abraham and Sarah. Amen. Everybody familiar with Abraham and Sarah. So can we just turn to Genesis chapter 18. We're going to start at verse number 9 and read through 14. And we can elaborate and we're going to move on to, I got 3 or 4 good people down that God used, and some were ready for the season, some wasn't. But amen, we're going to pray in this season, which way God lead us. He said, and they said unto him, this is the Lord speaking. He said, where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which were behind it. You know, sometimes you look, they've been trying years and years and years, and nothing ever happened. So they kind of gave up hope on anything happening. You know, sometimes when things don't come when we want it, we just say, well, it must not be our time. God must not hear our prayer, and so we kind of give up on it. But we can't give up on God just because he don't do it right then. Don't mean he's not going to do it.
That's
See,
right.
he trying to get us out of ourselves
That's
so
right.
he can move in and do it.
That's right.
See, that's his job, to get us out of ourselves.
Amen.
That's how we can get ready for our season.
Mm.
And it said, go to number 11. And it said, now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of a woman. We know through statistics and medical things that they say after a woman gets certain age, her childbearing years get lesser and lesser.
Mm-hmm.
So they way up past the limit of what we think. But see, God could always put something where there's nothing. See,
Come on now.
where we believe in that it can't happen, step in and make it happen.
Amen.
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 So now both of them, they old, they running around. Everybody, I know sometimes, it affects me sometimes when I see little kids. And I would love to see a little John run around. But if not, I take care of y'all. So it don't make no difference. Amen. I ain't gonna lose hope. Because see, if he did it for them, see, I know he can do it for me. See what I'm saying? I know I'm not too old yet. So I keep faith. Because see, God can do the impossible.
Amen.
Where there's a dead situation, he can put a life in there. So I ain't giving up.
Amen. Don't give up, sir.
I ain't giving up. Praise be to God. It ain't coming through adoption either, but that's where we got to go, but I'm waiting on him. I ain't going to give up. Amen.
All right now.
Then number 12 says, therefore now, I'm going to call your name. Therefore Sharon laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure in my Lord being old also. Sometimes just because you don't laugh out loud, you laugh on the inside to try to keep from crying and let people see you hurt and your pain. But see, we still got to wait on our season. See, God is setting something up for the season. So he's trying to get us in the right position to trust and believe in him that it can happen. Amen. So, number 13, and the Lord said unto Abraham, and the Lord said unto John, wherefore did Sharon laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? It may look dim. It may look like it's no hope right now. See, people tell you it's no way you can do that. But see, I believe and I trust in the God that can do all things but fail. See, people try to put things in your mind, and then sometimes we are worst enemy thinking because we don't went past a certain age, there's no more hope. But I'm here to tell you tonight that God can do all things. If he can do it for them, he definitely can do it for us. And so I thank God because, see, I looked at that as being a part of me. Because we both are childish. Amen. And I feel in my life, nothing wrong. I hope I ain't saying no wrong. All the women that I've been with, I think I should have been buried a child by now. But I didn't. Time moved on, so amen. But I still, by believing and trusting God, that he can do anything. See, I got to believe that. I don't care if she believes it or not, but I got to believe that he can do it. But the Bible says when two, how can two agree unless they walk together? Say we touch and agree together on the same thing, believing that God can do it, it'll work. And the Lord, in number 14, this is the kicker. Is anything too hard for the Lord? No. At the appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Sharon, at the appointed time we return, you will have a son. Amen. I'm a prophesier. I'm not a prophet, but I can speak a prophetic word, something that God can do.
She said, say that, sir.
Amen. So when y'all see me come in like Bro Tim holding Lil John, I don't know, the only thing I want y'all to do is jump up and say, is anything too hard for our God? That will be our season. Amen. See, people have to realize it's something for everybody in the Bible about a situation in your life. But you got to search and look for that right situation. And see, I've been read that many times. And I go and read it. I study it too. I say, he's not too old, God. He's 90, she 80. I still got 32 more years before I'm 90 years old. Amen. Amen. I still got 32 more good years. Still got 32 more good years. And see, the thing about it, when that son was born, that was a blessed child. And this child going to be blessed because we desire to want to have something. And see, back in those days, if a woman or a man couldn't bear a child, they thought they were cursed by God. So they didn't see no future in that because they thought they was cursed. They was barren. And see, sometimes, but praise be to God, we don't have no concubine around our house, so there's nobody she can give me to take her place. God gonna see you gotta look, you gotta realize that what all went down, and so you gotta take that negative stuff out.
That's right.
See, I can't tell her to go out and get a young girl and bring her back for me. That won't be what God said He's gonna do. He said He's gonna give us a child. He ain't gotta give it through nobody else for us to have. But see, we got to get ourselves prepared for our season.
Amen.
Amen.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Dee. Had the opportunity to be with you about a week or so ago anyway, at the camp. And you were working with the power of conception. And Deacon Smith was leading someone to Christ. And he asked the person, said, do you believe that Christ was born from the Virgin Mary? That's dealing with the power of conception right there. Dealing with the power that it will come into us for salvation. And you were working with that thing, man of God. You were working with it. You're working with it to the point of looking past the disability to God's possibility.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
And see, I can't stop what I'm doing for the Lord, but just call it haven't happened yet.
That's right.
I still got to press on.
Oh,
I still got a joy that I got to keep. See, I can't stop and wait because it hasn't happened. If I keep pressing toward it, it will happen. If I keep believing that He can do it.
He can do it.
See, well, I can't sit back and say, woe is me, Lord, when the time. He say at the appointed time. He gonna tell us when that time is.
That's right.
Because see, our time is not His time.
That's right.
Come on.
So He gonna let us know when the appointed time.
Yes, He will.
All right,
So
Holy
baby,
Ghost.
I'm gonna ask you right now, if you will laugh, go ahead and get it out the way now. So when you do say it, it won't be no laughing matter then. Amen. Thank be to God. I mean, but you look at it. We look at it, a 90-year-old and an 80-year-old.
My Lord.
We don't think there's no way.
I hear you, Lord.
See, that's what people got to realize. He can do it.
Yes, He can. Yes,
He spoke this world in existence.
Yes, He did.
But see, He could have did it all at one time, but He broke it down and showed us that we got to break it down. That we got to take time if we be willing and obedient. We shall, and y'all shall, eat the good of the land. See, it's always one or the other. Some of them is willing, but they're not obedient. Some are obedient and not willing. But if you got to put both of them together to make it work.
Amen.
And I thank God that once God come on the scene, and He knew what was in their heart. See, one thing about you ain't got to keep telling them over and over. He know what you want. He know what you need.
Amen.
He see a need for Little John to carry it on. Amen. Little John.
Amen. Little
He can be Little Joe. Hey, Little Joe was corrupt. That was me. So I'm good now, so he got to be Little John. Amen. John was a powerful man in the Bible. The front runner. One that told about Jesus. That's what I'm going to do now, tell. They look at me all crazy. I come out the wilderness, see. They can't understand that I was tucking behind the mountain when I was locked up in prison. God worked on me and prepared me for a time such as this.
Amen. Amen.
And see, I don't have a bunch of degrees. I got knowledge.
I know that's right.
I come from the school of hard knocks. I come from make it, fake it till you make it. But now I made made it, so now I ain't got to fake it.
Amen. Amen. Go ahead and testify.
I thank God for the story, how God stepped in. Yes, ma'am.
And you know, I know you believe what you said, and I can tell you that God will do that thing, because I don't even think I was in my 20s, and it seemed like me and Karan, it was just so much I could never conceive. I lost a set of twins, and after we got married, it's just like I just couldn't. No matter what we did, what we tried, the doctors had me on this pill, that I should have been conceived. And it was August 1990, we got married in 97. August of 98, 99, no, August of 2001. I remember we had went to a revival up in McCollum Memorial, and we was riding back down the road. I don't know if you remember it or not, but I remember you got out the car and you said, I need to pray for you. And you laid hands on my wound. And you said that the enemy, he had it so tangled up in there, and everything so tangled up, and he had it blocked where I couldn't. You had to lay hands on me. And I remember you laying hands and praying. December, I was pregnant. Didn't know it. Went to the doctor with a cyst. The doctor, January, I went to the doctor. The doctor told me I had a cyst on my ovaries. I wasn't satisfied with that thing because I stayed sick, went back. That cyst just graduated. That cyst just graduated. Don't tell me that God won't do it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to I know he will. I know he will.
You heard that? Because once she can see, she kept right on. I be selling a woman, but we keep blessing her. And we'll raise a family. Amen. We'll raise a family. So I just thank God. She kept right on. I heard you tell us, hey, son, girl, you need to stop. I'm running out of car seats.
Oh, my God.
So I know God will do it.
Yes, he will.
Yes, he will.
I'm here to tell you right now, whatever doubt that you have in your mind, or whatever trying to stop you from getting your blessing, now is the time to cast it down while the water is stirring. See, the water stirring right now. It's our season. So whatever you want in your season, now is the time. Don't let nobody talk you out of your season.
Amen.
Amen.
See, everybody always think a blessing has got to be money. I like life, health, and strength.
Amen.
I got life, health, and strength. I know this money. Amen.
He give us power to get
That's right.
That's right.
So Abraham lived to be an old man. But the moral of the story is there anything too hard for our God? Because he can make a way. He did it back then, and he's still doing it today. So, but don't let nobody tell you that it can't happen when he say we can do all things through him that strengthens us. Amen. We got to believe in our heart and our mind and our soul, because the Bible tells us he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. See, we got to seek him at a time right now because so much going on. Lord, I believe all this is going to happen, but Lord, I'm seeking you for the right direction. I'm seeking you for the right mind. I'm seeking you for I can have the right spirit, Lord. I'm tired of kicking against the prick, Lord. I want to do right. It seems like every time you try to do right, wrong, all the way, get in the way.
All time, John.
You can go. You can get up in the morning, you can pray, you can read the scripture, you can rub oil on it, you can go and be the happiest person in the world. But sometimes you go to your job and open that door. It's like opening the door to hell. But he prepared us for a time such a day. He said, if you put me first, he said, I'll go before you and make all crooked roads straight.
Yes, he will.
He'll bring all mountains down.
Yes, he will.
He'll move. He told the devil, get away, and he had to flee. So we got that power now to tell that devil. We got to quit walking around keeping our mouth shut. Tell that devil what he's supposed to do. Get behind me.
That's it. Open your mouth and say it.
We let people, that's right, open your mouth. And say something. You gotta say something. Open your mouth. Amen. I love that song.
Amen.
When I first heard, open your mouth, but he said, say something. This is my season. Get away from him.
I know that's right. Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
We gotta know who we are.
Amen.
We king kids.
Amen.
It's enough for everybody. We ain't gotta be jockeying for a position.
That's right.
We ain't gotta be coveted or ashamed or jealous of somebody else. But see, right now, it's everybody's season because he said he was going to pour out the Spirit on all flesh. So everybody, that's where the just see a lot of times, I tell people my job. I say a lot of times, because you got a few blessed people here, everybody's blessed.
That's
so
right.
see, he blessed the just as well as the unjust. But see, sometimes when he blessing, he just bless everybody because that's the kind of God we serve.
That's it. He has no respect to person.
That's right.
And see, people, they lay a house, okay. But at the end, every knee
Hey.
shall bow.
Yes.
Every tongue shall confess.
Yes.
You don't run around no more saying that, but one day you're going to have to do it. And you're going to have a choice.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Exactly right.
But tonight, are you ready for your season?
Yes.
Amen.
We're going to go over to our next.
Whoa, my God.
Woo! Joshua.
That's all right there, sir.
The book of Joshua, starting in the first chapter. We're going to be reading 1 through 9. And see what I love about Joshua. Joshua was a great follower.
You better say that.
Whatever needed to be done, he did it.
Amen.
He never murmured and complained. He always did it. Even out of season, he still did it. Whatever. If you go back and study Exodus and Deuteronomy, when Moses went up on the mountain, Joshua was right down behind him.
Amen.
Right there. He was the only one that could touch the mountain when they went up. See, but you got to get in there and read that to understand what he was doing. He was setting them up.
That's it.
You following pastor. It's a setup for you.
Jesus.
You getting all the outlines. Everything is being worked out. So when you get in y'all leadership,
Come on.
y'all know how to lead. But you got to first learn how to follow.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Amen.
Jesus.
People want to get mad without leaders because they ask them to do stuff, but they willing to do it themselves.
Jesus.
So why should we be inferior of them? Just follow. It's a setup for your season.
Jesus.
Just do what you need to do, and it'll all work out.
Amen.
Yes, it will. Oh my God.
Joshua
Mm.
was a strong man of God. Whatever he needed to do. Let's listen to what God told him. Joshua started number 1. He said, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' mentor, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise. He telling you, get up. You done sit down long enough. Time to get up now. Pull them pants up. Pull that dress down. Let's go. Amen. It's time to go. It's time to get busy. It's time to get out there in the mud. Time to get dirty. Amen. He said, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Now check this what he's saying now. He said, every place that the sole of your feet shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. Everything the Lord done promised pastor and bishop, they going to pass it on to the next person.
Jesus.
They going to pass it on.
Jesus.
God is paving a way. So everywhere you step, you're going to be blessed.
Jesus.
You're going to be able to claim all the territory. Amen.
Jesus.
Even if we don't never leave this corner, after a while, this whole block will be out.
I know.
Amen. So we can step it off. Everywhere we go, God will do it.
Yes, he is, sir.
He said,
Jesus.
everywhere.
God almighty. Jesus.
He said, every place that the sole of your feet shall tread upon,
Every place.
that have I given to you, as I said to Moses. He say from the corner of 8th Street, he say from the wilderness, this Lebanon unto the great rivers of the Yaqui River down there.
Jesus!
As far as you can see.
You better teach tonight, sir.
And to the great sea toward the going down the sun shall be your coat. So as far as we look, we can claim it. It's ours.
Yeah.
Let's quit defeating our own self when he give it to us.
Jesus.
He giving it to us.
Yeah.
So why we defeating our own self saying we can't do it when he do it? It's not us doing it, it's him.
It's him. My God, we got to get the guys off.
Amen.
Jesus.
That's it.
Now check this out now. You think that was strong. Look at little 5.
Jesus.
There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of life. I don't care who come up against you, they ain't got no wings.
Come on.
The devil and his imps and anybody else cannot win.
That's right. That's right. Jesus.
Defeated.
My God.
He said, as I was with Moses, as I was with bishop and pastor,
Jesus.
so I will be with thee.
Jesus.
I will not fail thee nor forsake thee, no matter what. Whatever he did for them, he gonna do more for us.
Yes.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
That's what
Jesus.
the word say, sir.
Hallelujah.
They setting it up for us, but everybody trying to jockey for position. Only thing we gotta do is just be willing
That's
to
right.
do what does say the Lord.
Yes, God. Jesus. Oh, my
And
God.
it shall come to pass.
Yes, it will. My Lord.
Then it said number 6.
God Almighty.
He said, be strong and of good courage. Don't beat yourself down. Don't feel bad because you don't have it yet. Just be strong in the Lord.
That's it. Be a good cover.
For unto this people shall thou divide for inheritance the land which I swear unto the fathers to them give. Bishop and pastor will leave so much, it's going to be enough for everybody.
Jesus.
So ain't nobody going to feel bad or left out.
Jesus. Oh, my
So
God.
we ain't got to worry about who will be first. He first.
That's
Just set what we get.
right.
That's
Amen.
it. That's it.
What we get, amen.
Do right with what you got.
He said, now, number 7 said, only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that they may prosper wheresoever thou goest. So once the mantle has been passed,
Come on, sir.
they the front runners.
Once it's
They the
done,
visionary.
that'll be ready.
Moses did a great job. He
Yes,
was
he
a
did.
great man of God.
Yes,
They
he
talk about Moses all through the Bible
Amen.
of a great God. God called him his friend. God stood and talked to him face to face. God stood and talked to them face to face. God is setting us up for a rival. We just got to be willing and obedient and understanding and just let it work and let him work, and we all can prosper.
Jesus. My Lord.
Let's quit kicking. Let's not worry about what somebody else doing. Let's worry about what he's doing.
What
That's
he
right.
doing? That's
See,
it.
he's the shot caller.
Jesus. Yes, he is.
He's the big ball.
He the
Go
big
ahead.
ball.
Go ahead.
He's the big ball. See, he controls all things.
Jesus.
Cut what he's off from.
Jesus. My Lord.
Number 8. This book of law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. See, if we study this
Yes.
all the time, instead of Facebook, TV, and everything, this is our direction. This is our guide.
Amen.
This is biblical instruction before leaving earth, right here, the Bible.
Amen.
This is it. He tells us, he said, do not. He said, thou shalt meditate there day and night. You ain't got to stand it all day long. Pick it up. Read a few scriptures. Sit back, meditate.
Get some at night.
Meditate.
Jesus.
Cut the TV off.
Amen.
Cut the quiet storm off. Amen.
That shouldn't even have been on. Jesus.
And just meditate on the goodness.
Yes, Lord.
He done so much, man. We never can think of all he ever done. We can never thank him enough.
No.
Now this is what he said. He said, number 9, he said, have not I commanded thee? He said, be strong. See, this is the third time you said it. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee wheresoever thou goest. Don't make no difference who come up against whosoever will. We gonna prosper. God gonna move us down that road. Nobody gonna be. There gonna be plenty of people. They standing right now because we building that wall. They trying to get us to come off that wall, but we not because He said.
Keep passing the book.
He said, be strong. I know it get hard sometimes. I know it get tough, but ain't that too hard for our God?
Amen.
Nothing.
Amen.
We just gotta be willing and obedient to listen to our leaders and to listen to the Holy Spirit. I know y'all some God-fearing people in the church. Some people are seeking after God. That's why he said, let him separate. Because see, the one we think ain't the one, we'll pull it. And see, we don't pull the wrong thing, so he'll separate. So that's why a lot of times people sitting close to you, you look around, they ain't here because he done pulled them out.
Pluck them out.
He plucked them. See, we don't know who to tell to go. Not unless you cutting up. But he know. He know the intent of your heart.
That's right.
He know who you for.
That's right.
And a lot of people say they for you, but they're not for you.
See, you got that in the mouth.
Thank you, Lord.
I heard a lot of people, yeah, I'm for you. Where you at? Oh, Pastor, you can call me anytime.
Time you go.
Time to call. Well, go to Tuna got tired now. But then when she don't call no while, I don't know why the hell you don't call me. Every time she call you, you never answer the phone.
Jesus.
They need to get away with this caller ID because people, Christian people, are screening their callers.
Ouch. I sure do.
But praise be to God. Some of you need screening.
Yeah. Trying to sell me insurance. All
Well, I mean, yeah, we trying to block them all the way out. But you know when the stress call comes.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about you. We'll call and get back with you. Amen. He said, then Joshua commanded the officer of the people, saying, pass through the host and command the people, saying, prepare your building, for within 3 days you shall pass over the Jordan to go into possess the land which the Lord your God give you to possess. If we just prepare ourselves, if the people which are called by my name will just listen, humble themselves. See, that's all we got to do is call and humble ourselves. Then he can hear from heaven. See, he already know what he said. He want to bless the people. Right. But there's so much chaos going on. It's this church against that church. See, God died for the whole nation, the human race. He didn't die for a color. He died for the human race. Amen. But God has got so much for us stored up right here at WWLTC. See, we look around and say, certain people ain't here. There's a reason why they ain't here. Because he knows that they won't force. See, he knows that he give them a good portion, they gonna run off anyway.
Anyhow.
So he already knows. People say, Lord, I need a car. As soon as you get a car, now you ride past the church. Lord, I need more money. As soon as you give you more money, now you quit paying your tithes. Well, I gotta pay all that. It wasn't yours from the beginning. Exactly. He the one doing it. I just praise be to God that. Yes, ma'am. I see you throw your hand up. Amen.
I was just laughing.
Amen. I mean, it's so real when I read these words and he talks to me and he shows me exactly what he's doing. He's preparing them. We got to prepare ourselves so when they do pass the mountain, we can handle it. It ain't no use of bickering. Oh, I knew she was going to get it. I knew he was going to get it. Praise be to God. Look what happened if you would have got it.
Jesus. Wouldn't be a church no more. Jesus.
We got to look at them that's diligently seeking him for their direction.
That's right.
A lot of stuff, Pastor didn't know what be going on.
Of course.
I had to get myself together. I said, no more. I said, whatever it is. I said, Bishop, whatever you need me, call me. And when I say that, boy, my phone be ringing on the hook, but I'm always there for the call. Because if I didn't mean it, I'd never said it. Even when I don't want to do it, I still do it anyway. I'm not doing it for that, but somewhere down the line, if I sow enough seed, they will start
That's
reaping
it right
back.
there. That's it.
It ain't all about your money. Sometimes they need your time.
Amen.
Anybody got any comments? Amen.
You know, I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, and I think about how when I first came into ministry in general, even before I met Bishop, and he was doing his sowing on one side, I'm doing my sowing on another side, and that was to leadership. Doing things even when you weren't asked. When you see a need and you go on and do it, God is looking for somebody to take an initiative. It ain't always about a draft. Because and a lot of people that got drafted in the military, they really didn't want to be there. And sometimes when you in a draft, you get killed in a situation because your mindset ain't right. But when you volunteer your service, now he didn't force us to receive him. We had to believe that in our heart, and we had to confess it with our mouth. So I volunteered my services, not just to the leadership, but to God. Because leadership, they be like, what is you talking about? This need to be done, and that need to be done, da 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 da. And some things they just weren't ready for, but to God be the glory. Even after all that's been said and done, I see things that God had placed in my heart years ago, and it's beginning to manifest here. And I just thank God. Because if you sow it, it's going to come to pass. And the harvest is plenteous right now. That's right. You're speaking prophetically. You're speaking like it's right here, right now. And it's just like when a farmer has a garden and the stuff begin to come forth and the crows come trying to eat up what's already been, what's the blessing right there that's for you. So you're going to have to set out your scarecrows, put your armor on, whatever you got to do to be diligent for the kingdom. Because the enemy don't want you to get it. The harvest is truly plenteous. That's why it's so much chaos right now. But if you know in your heart of hearts that you've been sowing all of the obedience unto God, you've been sowing all of your willingness unto God, you've been doing your best that you know how unto God, it shall come to pass. Seasons last in the natural for a couple of months at a time. But in God, who's to say your season won't last forever? Who's to say? You can glean in anybody's season, but I thank God for it being my season for 12 years. And now every season I ain't always had a great harvest, but I've always gotten something. I've gotten stronger in my weakness. I've gotten strengthened. Even I'm telling you, in my distress, I got strengthened. So it doesn't matter. When you sow good stuff gotta come back.
Amen. Amen. And that's how you get your next assignment.
Amen.
Being faithful. See, we gotta be faithful over little.
Amen.
Then he will make a ruler over much.
He'll make you.
See, a lot of times we despise, oh man, I'm making minimum wage. Look when you won't make it nothing.
Amen.
But you despise it. I really bring home something in the wake of wonder where I'm going to get something from. Because God is blessing us.
Yes, he is.
Man, look around, man. We are truly blessed.
Amen.
And it's sad to say, a lot of people are running from their blessed place. And a lot of times we stunt in our own growth by what we say and what we do.
That's right.
Nowhere in here did I see Joshua try to backstab Moses.
Amen.
He went, he followed him to the cause. And when it was time for him, God pulled him up and strengthened him like he's doing us. It's your time now. You've been a good and faithful servant. Now it's your time to lead. You've been a great follower. You got to follow the how do you know how to lead. See, everybody's not a born leader. But you got to learn how to take instruction.
Followers produce leaders.
Okay, y'all in the military, when they say a certain thing, you had to,
Do
a
it.
certain thing, they say 10 touch, you had to stand up.
Amen.
It won't no more that laying down, you had to stand up right, even if you didn't want to.
Amen.
All the consequences. God is telling us right now, a 10 touch. Stand up. Be strong.
Come on. Pump the ground one.
About faith. Forward march. We going to get them.
Jesus.
Amen.
Jesus.
God preparing us. This is our season.
That's it.
We was coming to church tonight, and Pastor Gould down in Charlotte, he was talking. He said, when Jesus first come on the scene, everybody would follow him after he done fed them. Everybody would follow him. But when he started telling them who they truly were, when he started calling them hypocrites, vipers, the church scattered. Now you being exposed of who you are, and you don't want that. See, we don't want to be chastised or rebuked. We want to be able to do it when we want to be able to do it. But that's not the way God said do it. I'm ready for you to chastise me than him. Boy, when he started chastising you and rebuking you, boy, when he started beating you. Woo! I ain't never had a whooping like that. Well, he'll set you down. And you'll be glad to get up when the glory comes. So amen. I know. I mean, I just thank God I think we got time for one more. We're talking about you ready for your season. The next one was Saul. Not Paul, but the king Saul. And we'll be coming from 1 Samuel, the 15th chapter. Praise God, Lord. I went right there. I'm looking so real. And on this here, you have to go back and read to get the understanding to where it at, because the Israelites have been following God so long, and they just didn't want to do it their way. But they seen when they did it their way how they was truly blessed. That's like us today. We do it for a while, then we'll stop. We'll do it for a while, then we'll stop. But if you continue,
Got to continue.
but see, one person got to realize a little stream will run to a pond. A little pond will run to a river. A little river will run to the sea. A little sea will run to the ocean. See, the water keep flowing. It's a steady. See, it might be slow back here. You like, well, it's just a little bit of water, but it's steady moving. See, God is watching. See, He brings you slowly, because if He push you too fast, you will drown. You won't be able to handle all this. So I thank God for the good teaching and preaching that we get here through our leadership. In the front line, the ones that get up. But Saul, the people, the reason why they chose Saul, because the people didn't want to listen to God no more. See, Samuel went praying to God, thinking the people didn't want him no more. But he told Samuel, it ain't you they don't want. It's me they don't want. And see, sometimes when we try to choose somebody else instead of God, woe unto you. Some things you might not want to do. But we're going to start right here. Let's see, 1 Samuel 15. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Then I got another part. It said, Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both men and women, infant, sucklings, ox, sheep, camel, and behind. He been commissioned. He was in charge now. He the king. So God talked to the prophet to go anoint him to be king because nobody wanted to listen to God no more. They scared now. They thinking God got them in a box, but they trying to put God in the box. See, that's what we do. We try to shorten his name. We try to confine him to a certain space where he can't operate. But he can operate regardless.
That's it.
He's not going to force you. And see, the people had in their heart, Lord, give somebody else. They don't want to rule. He told Samuel, it's not you they don't want, it's me. It's sad when we don't want God to work in our life, when we see God work. Who in here had truly been blessed in a while, a long time, over the last couple of years in your walk? And God truly been blessed. Amen. I remember when I first started here, it wasn't that many jobs to him. Boy, everybody didn't get jobs. Everybody didn't got nice cars. Everybody didn't got nice house. That's the favor of God. Because we want God to work. We ain't trying to limit it to man. Amen. See, man don't have all them resources. He's going to eliminate some stuff and stop some stuff from happening because he only man.
That's right.
He can't provide for everybody.
That's right.
God can.
Yes, he can.
He own all the hills. Mm-hmm. He own everything. So, about your season, now he been appointed, he was given a charge. He was going to destroy everything. See, first of all, you got to listen to what God is telling you. He gave you instruction. He wants you to do it exactly how he said do it.
Amen.
But when it ain't quite your season, and you got people whispering in your ear, telling you that ain't the way it should be, how you know when God the one told me how it's supposed to be, but here you is trying to convince me to do it some other way. See, it won't his season because he won't the chosen one. He will put in position to satisfy the people. Sometimes we get stuff that we really don't know what we're supposed to be getting, right. But we want it anyway. We don't want to do right, so we'll do wrong, and then who are we? When we get in trouble, who the first person call? Oh, Lord. Atheists, they'll holler, oh, Lord. I thought you didn't believe in it. But you called it on it. So he was told to go, and the Bible says, utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not, but slay both man and woman. Kids, see, some things God trying to get out your way, because it will infest you. See, if you leave it there, like the Bible says, a little leaven will leaven the whole lump. See, you got to go in there and get it from the root. You got to go in there and pull everything out. See, if you just get it off the surface, now the root's still in there. Sooner or later, it's going to come back.
That's right.
Doctor told me, I need to do something. I said, no, pull it. That way they know I ain't got to worry about it. Go and yank it.
Root canal.
It had me up on my knees all last night, pulled that joker out of my mouth. Get it out of here. I don't want that problem no more. Get it.
I know that.
But sometimes we try to do that temporary fix. Because it feels good. Or it might look good. Oh, he was the king. Okay, let's go over to still in 15. Let's go to verse 22. It said, and Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than to sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he had also rejected thee from being king. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned. I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy word, because I fear the people and obey their voice.
My Lord.
Sometimes you let people send you to hell. Amen. Excuse my language. But you will let them send you instead of you trying to stop. We on a mission for God. We got to do what God said do. That's one thing I like about leaders. No matter who feelings it may hurt, talk them in. may get spanked, tuck it in. If they don't do what they got to do, they going to get spanked.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Child, I can't.
they my leaders. I don't classify them as my friends, but we got a friendship. It's just, you got to know where to draw the line. Because see, when you get too close,
That's right.
then you want to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when Saul or us don't do what God commanded us, he pulls it back. He was showing us, do it my way. It's more suffice. I got you. But we'll listen to people. Man, I don't know why you going down there in church, man. Them people down there doing this, they doing that. Well, let them keep doing it. They the one got to deal with God. I'm doing what I got to do. I ain't worried about what they doing.
Amen.
I mean, if they were doing that bad, I know how to lead. They talking about what you do if they take the tithe. When I said they got to deal with God, I got to do my part by getting my tithe. Now, if I don't get mine, then I'm in trouble. But I just want everybody tonight to be in good courage. Be strong. Be in good courage.
Amen.
The Lord is paving a way for WWLTC.
Yes, amen.
He's moving some stuff out of the way.
Thank you, Jesus.
He got a few faithful that willing to do what he asked them.
Amen.
Our leaders' arms are getting heavy. We need to be there to lift their arms up. Because every time the leader's arm went down, the enemy won. So we got to keep there. Somebody got to get it. Don't make a difference. We'll take ships.
Amen.
Don't make a difference who be first, who be last. We all got to hold up their arms
Amen.
for our season. I just thank God. And I pray that y'all got something out of this tonight. I didn't know which way God was going to lead me. But I praise God. It quickened my spirit.
Amen.
It gave me hope.
Amen.
I see Little John.
Okay.
Amen. Amen. I see he coming. Amen.
All right, Little John.
Little John. Amen.
Little John.
I see. Because I trust and believe.
Amen.
I'm not letting people talk me down
Go ahead.
off the wall. This is my season. Amen. This is your season. This is our season. This is WWLTC season.
Season, yes.
I can't tell you how long it's going to last.
Amen.
Only God can tell you.
Better get in.
But whatever you need, right now is the time to get in the water while it's stirring.
Jesus, thank you, Lord.
I'm not a prophet, but I can speak a prophetic word through him. I speak what he tells me to say. I don't sit home and try to think up things to say. I want to do and be obedient to God. I have leaders that I have to report to. They know I don't get out here and just try to prophesy or nothing. I just tell you what the Lord tells me.
Amen.
That's how I get my next assignment.
Amen.
But the water is stirring.
Amen.
And I pray that y'all got something and